Welcome, my name is Jeannie and I am going to be your yoga teacher for today. As you see, I am sitting in a chair and I've gathered a couple props around me. I have a yoga strap. Now, if you do not have access to a yoga strap, there are so many things in and around your house that you can use for the same purpose. You could use a scarf, you could use a belt. You just want something to help you reach a little bit farther. So any of those things would work really, really well. I've even seen people use like hand towels that they can loop over their feet. And the other thing that I have is some yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, there's so many things in your house as well. You can use canned food, you can use books. Cookbooks are really good because they're nice and thick. Videotapes. Again, mostly you use props like this to help you reach down a little bit further, extending your arm towards the ground, or maybe even lifting your feet a little bit higher. So go ahead, pause me and take a few moments to just gather a chair, some blocks, and maybe even a strap. Word of advice, if you are using a chair, place it on top of a yoga mat. That way it has a little bit more grip because you will be moving in and out of different postures. You want to make sure that the chair does not slide beneath you, that it is a stable piece of equipment for you to rely on and find some stability in. So go ahead and pause me and take a moment to find the items that you need and come back and meet me on your chair. Now let's go ahead and get started. I want you to sit all the way back on your hips so that the back of your body is pressed against whatever the back of the chair is. And now lift up nice and tall, finding some height in your spine. Feet can be hip distance apart or together. Just find some comfort here. Go ahead and close your eyes. If it is comfortable, if not, just soften your gaze. Now notice what is happening in your body today. Maybe you got out of bed this morning with a few extra aches and pains. Maybe today is one of those days that you feel very energetic, like you could conquer the world. Just notice the thoughts that arise when the world around you quiets. See if you can just slowly take 2 more breaths, each one a little bit bigger than the one before. And as you exhale, open your eyes and bring yourself back, becoming present in the moment, in sensation, and in your breath. Take a deep breath in and lower your right ear to your shoulder. Feel the stretch down the left side of your body. If it feels good, you can bring your right hand up and over and just place gentle pressure. Not forcing, but allowing that extra weight of your hand to bring a little bit more sensation into the neck. Slowly release the hand and let the neck find neutral. Let's try it on the other side, lowering down. Remembering to breathe softly but purposeful. If it felt good on the other side, try it on this side as well. Slowly release and rise. This time as you inhale, lengthen your spine a little bit higher. And exhale, turn your cheek looking to the right. See how much mobility you have, how much rotation in your spine and your cervical neck. Coming back to center. Try it the other way. Being careful not to move too quickly. Coming back to neutral. Now let's start small and just draw tiny little circles in the sky with your head. If you find yourself getting dizzy, see if you can keep your eyes on one location. Maybe it's just the screen in front of you. Can you make the circles a little bit bigger? And it's okay if you take them quick or if you take them slow. See if you can pay attention to the sensations and the stretch along different areas of your neck. Once you've done it a couple times, let's take it in the opposite direction. Start small. Think of a top. The smaller the circle, the more upright the top is, and as it slows, the top starts to wobble and become a little bit larger. Can you do one more circle? And come back to neutral. Inhale, lift your shoulders as high as you can. Almost as if they're becoming earrings. Exhale, press them down. Lowering your elbows, your shoulder blades. Really putting some weight behind it. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Get a little bit more when you breathe and feel your clavicle lift as well. It's the bone across the front of your chest. And exhale, press the shoulder blades down to the ground and let the clavicle sink. Try it one more time. Inhale. Shrug. Exhale, release. Now start circling your shoulders forwards, up and back. Feeling into those corners and noticing if there's any creaks, any pops. If this creates any issues for you or any pain, go ahead and have my permission to not do it. Let's take it in the opposite direction. One more time. Now really root down through your sit bones, lifting through your core and your spine. Take a deep breath in. We're going to reach our hands as high as you can. Now some of them might just be at shoulder height. You might find a little bit mobility, reaching to the corners of the room. Or you might have full range of motion, bringing your hands together. But make sure there is no pain in your shoulders as you reach them up towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist your left hand towards the front knee and use your right hand to find the chair behind you. You can use a little bit of leverage to see if you can get some more rotation in the spine. Inhale, bring the arms back up, wherever feels good to you. And exhale, take it to the other side. Keep twisting, keep breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to neutral, bring your hands to the fronts of your knees. This time, as we take a deep breath in, I want you to imagine your heart pointing it up towards the sky. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, look up. Almost as if you found a shooting star and you're trying to follow it behind your head. Exhale, round your body. Pull your back back. You might even find yourself pressing into the back of the chair. If you need to slide forward a little bit more, go ahead and do that so you can find your full range of motion here. Inhale, belly forward, heart lifted. And exhale, round your spine. Call these seated cat-cows. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Now your body might be wanting a little bit more movement. If it does, you can start to circle your chest forward and back. But if this is too much for you, just stay with the straight front and straight back. Let the body move, let it explore, let it find sensation. Let's take it in the other direction. You might even do what you did with our neck, starting small and making it large. Whatever feels good. Coming back to neutral. Inhale, reach your hands in front of you. Pull your fingertips up towards the sky and imagine pressing against a wall. I want you to press your palms out. Notice that you're feeling a stretch down your spine, opening up through your shoulder blades. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades back. Exhale, push them forwards. Inhale, draw them back. Like you're trying to squeeze a quarter between your shoulder blades. Exhale, press. Inhale, pull. Nice. Now let's change our hand position. Pointing your fingers forward, bring your palms facing each other. Like you're slicing through the air. Reach. Just notice that different sensation with just the movement of the hands. Reach. One more. Coming back to center. Roll your wrists. Still breathing and take it in the opposite direction. I want you to imagine your hands are sopping wet and there is no towel in sight, and shake them. Open your fingers as wide as you can. Really work into the fingers, flicking them. Using the muscles to activate the arms. Bring the palms together. Interlace the fingers and just figure eight the wrists. Release your hands, reach up towards the sky, as high as you can go. And now, hinging from the hips, I want you to bring the hands down towards the ground. Now, you might notice you can reach for the floor. If that is not possible, remember those blocks I had you grab? Bring the blocks on either side of your feet. And hinge forward, resting your hands on the block. Now play around with this. Really work into your body till you find something that has sensation, but does not pushing you to your limits. Might be the highest edge. Might even drop it down a little bit. Or you really might be working for the ground and lower it all the way down towards the floor. Pressing in your palms to the blocks this way. Now breathe, and if it feels okay, bring your chin to your chest. When you're ready, hands can find the tops of your thighs. And use some support to press yourself up. Sitting tall again on your chair. Now let's waken our feet up. With your right foot, just press into the ball of your toe and see if you can lift the heel off the ground. And then lower the right heel down. Lift the left heel and lower it down. Kind of walking back and forth from the right side to the left. Now make sure that you're rooting down through the toes in order to find lift through the heels. If you want a little bit more, bring some weight into those palms and press down with your hands as you're pushing up with your feet. And notice the change in resistance. Now let's change it up a little bit. This time, sitting up tall, maybe even you sit back a little bit more and walk your feet out in front of you. So they're slightly in front of your knees. I want you just to pull the toes off the ground. Ooh, where do you feel that? Do you notice sensation coming to that calf or the front of your shin? Again, pedal back and forth. Each time spreading your toes onto the floor, feeling grounded. One more time on each foot. Good. Now your feet can come back underneath your knees. And I want you to press down through your feet, activating the legs, almost as if you're going to stand up from the seat, but I don't want you to lift off the ground. I just want you to activate your legs. Keep breathing, and you might feel a little constriction in your belly as you're pressing down through your feet. Now, keeping your activation in your left leg, bring both of your hands to your right knee and just draw your knee in towards your chest. Hold here for some breath. Notice where this sensation's going on in your body. Now let's invite some movement into the hip joint. Circle the knee, coming in and out. Some of you might need to use the support of your hands a little bit more. Or maybe you can bring the hands to the bottom of your chair and move the hip unsupported. Whatever is best for you, you know your body, so listen to it. Let's take it in the opposite direction. You started with outward circles, now bring it into those inward circles. Beautiful. Placing the foot down on the ground, let's try that with the other knee. Find the support of your hands or the chair. Draw the knee in towards your chest, sitting up nice and tall. Foot is flexed as well to activate the leg. Now we don't want to lose the activation in our supporting knee, so press down as if you're going to lift yourself up and start circling. Notice the differences from side to side. Maybe this one can circle a little bit bigger. Maybe it's a little stiffer. Yoga is sometimes just an exploration of sensation in your body and noticing the differences from day to day, from moment to moment. Let's take it in the other direction. Because we all know that's what happens. Every day is different than the one before. And if you're having a great day, then accept it and be a part of it. And if you're having a bad day, know that it will pass. Bring your feet down to the ground and sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in. Let's find that forward fold one more time, remembering where your blocks are. And breathe into it. Now while you're down there, I hope your strap is close. See if you can reach for the strap and bring it up with you. Nice job. Now we're going to still get into our legs a little bit more. So take your strap and kind of just hover it down by your foot, lifting your toe up and sliding the strap underneath the arch of your foot. Now you can double the strap or you can keep it single, whatever extends the reach of your arms to where you need them to be. Now from there, pulling back, draw your knee back up. And this time I want you to try to extend it straight forward. So you can hold with two hands, or you can grab one hand and bring the other to the chair to support your body. Now make sure that you're not locking the knee out, but that you're keeping it soft. And breathe. Can you activate your left leg a little bit more by pressing down into the floor and finding some lift through the crown of your head? 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now go ahead and bend the right knee, the one that's high up in the sky, and rotate it slightly outwards. We're going to bring it into a pigeon pose or a figure 4, resting the ankle on top of the knee, and the strap can just be let go of. Now just breathe into this and allow the hip to soften. If this is too much for you, you should have a block right by the ground, right by your left foot. You still find the rotation of your hip. If the foot is just rested on the block, it might be a little less extreme. Still just breathe into the sensation in your body. And try to soften any tension that might be going on. Now you've seen the pattern. Since we've done it on the right side, we're going to do it on the left side. So you can use that strap if it's still attached to your foot. You want to uncross and replant it into the floor. This time the strap reaches down to the left foot, right into the arch of the foot. Find the support that you need and start to draw the knee up towards the chest. Lengthening the spine, 1 foot or 1 hand, 2 hands, or reaching for the back of the chair. And breathe. Keeping that soft front knee and activating the right leg. When you're ready, go ahead and bend the left knee, rotating the foot. Remember the options here. You can stack the ankle on top of the thigh, or you can find that block and let the foot rest right on the top of the block. And breathe into the hip opener. You choose your option. And when you're ready, slowly come back to your neutral stance. Both feet on the ground. And go ahead, get rid of the strap, placing it down in front of you. Now we're going to come a little bit deeper into our hips. Let's go ahead and take one of the blocks and bring it to the back side of the mat or back side of your chair. Scoot your hips all the way over till the right butt cheek is falling off the chair. And then taking the right leg, I want you to swing it back behind you. You might need to play with the block's height depending on how high your chair is. Pressing the front shin into the block behind you. And I find it easiest to make sure that the block is not under the kneecap. So if you have pressure on that kneecap with the block, slide it back a little bit more and really bring it underneath the shin. You can tuck the toe of the back foot underneath for a little bit more stability. Now press your hips forward. See if you can open up along the front side of the body. Hands can hold on to the chair and your waist. You can bring both hands onto your shin or onto your thigh. Or maybe you'll even choose heart center for a little bit more balance work, or activating the arms. They're all wonderful options, but listen to your body. Just like we did in our feet stretch and in our hip rotations, I want you to really press down into the front leg, like you're going to try to lift the hip off the chair. You might notice that your breath is becoming a little bit more labored. That is what we want. Now slowly lift the back shin off the block. Bring the leg in front. And swish, swash, bringing your body back into that neutral part of the chair. Let's try that on the other side. Placing the block right next to the chair. Bring it so that the left hip is off the chair. You're still very supported by your weight being pressed in towards the chair and in towards the foot. Swing the left leg behind you and let the knee, or let the shin, not the knee, find the block by your mat. And breathe. You might choose a different hand posture on this side, but know you have freedom here. Press down with a slight lift in the body. One more breath, you can do this. Press into the back toe, lift your knee up and swing it around. And come back to the center of your chair. Now, let's extend the right leg all the way out in front. Actually, scoot forward onto your chair. Pulling the toe up, sitting nice and tall, and just fold yourself forward. Just a little different sensation in the forward fold. Hands can still come and support on the left knee. You flex the toe a little bit more. Really focus on your breath. And slowly rise on up. Switch sides. Find a lift before you just tilt forwards from the hip. Slight bend in this front knee. How deep can you go until you feel the sensation? You might even be able to sandwich your heart on the top thigh. slowly rise on up, bringing the knees underneath you, and scoot yourself back again. We're going to take the right knee over the left knee. I want you to see if you can squeeze them together as tight as possible. Coming into what's called an eagle pose. Now the right foot might just dangle down towards the ground, or maybe you've got enough flexibility to wrap the right ankle behind the left foot. Now reach the arms out towards the side like you're about to hug the world. Open up your chest. And now you're going to bring your right arm underneath and your left arm on top, trying to stack the elbows. Now you can stop with just stacking the elbows, knowing that there is sensation in your back. If you have a little bit more mobility, point your fingertips up towards the sky. Maybe you can even bring your palms together. Pointing your thumbs towards your nose. Know that all of these are just suggestions. And breathe. You might notice that after a few breaths, tension in your body kind of melts away. If it did in this posture, see if you can bring your elbows down to your knees, a little bit of a back or a little bit of a forward fold, or even hooking your elbows on the outside of your knees, and breathe. Press down through the left foot. Drop the chin to your chest. If you took the forward fold, start to sit yourself up tall. Unwind the arms, reach them out. You can shake them out like you're about to fly and take off. Hands come down to the bottom of your seat. Untwist your legs and kind of just pedal it out. Let's try that on the other side. Lift your left knee and cross it on top of your right knee. From there, you can find the double bind, or maybe it just hangs, whatever feels best for your body. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, reach out, opening yourself up to the world. And this time, the left elbow comes underneath the right elbow. Rotate the hands. So I want you to see if you can feel expansion across the back of the body. See if you can pull the shoulder blades apart. And breathe into those areas of the rib cage on the back of your body. Take the fold. If it feels good to you. Slowly rise on up. Unwind your arms. And just take a couple flaps. Grab a hold of the bottom of your chair and unwind. Walking out your feet. Now I want you to take your hands and open them up and bring them to that bottommost rib, the floating rib, the one that just sits right above your belly, your stomach, and wrap your hands around your floating rib, around that bottom rib. Roll your shoulder blades back and down, lifting your heart. Now, imagine yourself using your hands to lift the rib cage up and off your spine, opening up your heart, pressing and pulling your shoulder blades together. Now, if this is too much for you, bring your hands to the back of the chair, holding on to the support, and just come into a beautiful back bend by looking up and lifting the heart. You can bend your elbows if you need to. Any option is fine. And breathe into the space that you just opened across the front of your body. Pay attention to what happens to your rib cages as you're breathing in. Feel them expand and feel them contract. Slowly bring your body back to neutral. Release your hands down to the ground. I want you to spread your feet as wide as you can. You might come off the corners of the chair and find your blocks if you used them in the forward fold before. Put them in between your legs, maybe the high height, maybe the medium height, wherever might feel best for you, but with your legs out nice and wide, knees bent. We're going to hinge forward, finding a wide forward fold. Play around with the height in front of you. You might notice after some time, the ground might be possible for you. If so, relax your head, shake it out from side to side. Maybe, yes, I can do this, up and down, and find your breath. Now, no matter where you are, whether you're on the floor or on the block, I want you to see if you can bring the left hand under center, pressing into the palm. Then you're going to lift the right arm up towards the ceiling and twist. Remembering if you're in a block, that's okay too. So you can look behind you as you breathe. You can even be higher. One more breath. And slowly come back to center. If your shoulder needs a little bit of movement, give it a couple rolls. Let's try it on the other side. Right hand roots down and left hand reaches up towards the sky. Slowly unwind. Coming into your forward fold one more time. Taking the option that best serves you. blocks to the highest height, about hip distance apart. Use them to walk in. So they're just right off your mat. Rise on up. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your palms together and close your eyes. And breathe. Become acquainted with the sensation of blood running through your body. You might notice that when you sit up, you could feel a little dizzy. So just breathe for a moment and reacquaint yourself with this posture. Release your hands down to your thighs. We're going to come into our final posture. This is a little bit more of a restorative posture, and I want you guys to get comfortable. You can take my suggestions or do some of your own. If you're able to get down onto the mat or onto the floor easily, you can take a traditional Shavasana. If not, bring your feet together. Maybe you rock them a little bit side to side. Scoot your hips just about halfway forwards on your mat. And I want you to bring your feet onto the blocks. And what this is doing is it's now making it so that the blood has to run uphill a little bit harder, pressing the blood into your feet. It's not a full inversion, but it does allow the body to change the flow of blood. Now slowly lower yourself, finding support on the back. Hands can come down to the thighs. Hands can come to the chair. Chin can come to your chest. If you're up against a wall or anything, you can find support for the back of your neck. Close your eyes and just breathe. See if you can find stillness in your body, in your breath, and in your mind. Now, if you want to stay in this Shavasana a little bit longer, just stay. But this is where I will leave you as I slowly lower my feet down to the ground. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Taking a deep breath in and bringing my hands to my heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that through these movements you have found greater range of motion and more possibilities for your body. The light and the love in me honors and respects the light and love in each of you. Namaste.